Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure that we are gathered here today to talk about cybersecurity, wireless, and big data. And although cybersecurity and wireless the words have been around for a long while, big data is a new buzzword. And I encountered big data even before it was called big data. And I want to take you back to the first day as a naive graduate student when I was in the University of Minnesota. And I was sitting through the first group meeting, and my advisor was talking about doing this 3-atom system and saying that it is very expensive. And I, for my life, could not understand what does 3-atom system have to do with expense. And when I started doing the simulations, however, I realized how much data we had to save, how much memory we needed, and the word that at that time we all used to use was expensive. So here, it's amusing now that I'm standing here talking about big data, and I encounter the same problem every day where I'm grappling with how big a system I can simulate in my research lab. So as an example, what I do in my lab is computational modeling of biological systems, and here I'm showing you certain examples of things we have done, or things that we want to go and do in the next few months. And the first thing you see here is we are involved in designing anti-cancer nanoparticles. We are looking at how these particles interact with membranes, and if they are in the biological system, how does the biological milieu interact with the particles and create corona. And once these entities are in the biological system, how do they interact with the cell membrane? So all those things are shown here on the slides. We also worry a lot about the blood-brain barrier in our system. How is it that people suffering with Alzheimer's disease are not able to get the medication they want because the brain shuts the chemicals out? So understanding the molecular architecture of the biological system and how these nanoparticles that we are creating can help us understand and improve the life of people is what we are doing. Another thing that we are going to move forward in the few months is studying the Ebola virus. We recently found the crystal structure of the proteins involved there, and we want to mimic the surface of the Ebola virus, which of course we all have heard in the past year has been a major problem all throughout the world. So the underlying theme in this whole research is that we study molecules, and we want to have high-fidelity simulations of the real biological system. And in this case, we want to track each and every atom or molecule involved in this biological process. Now, if you want to do anything realistic, you have to simulate millions and millions of atoms. And that's where big data comes in. How big a system can we do? How frequently we want to save the data? Whether that data is only in the form of pressure, shear, or it is about looking at movies, how systems collaborate. So we have a wide variety of things that we grapple with, and size becomes an issue. Also, when you're looking at these molecular systems, you encounter the problem of how frequently these things move. So a molecular system generally has the smallest frequency that you want to look at is about 1 femtosecond. That's 10 to the minus 15. So if you want to study something for 1 second, you have to have 10 to the 15 steps. And you can imagine how much data you would need if you have millions of atoms trying to store this information. So here in this slide, I show you some of the key aspects and timescales that are involved in a biological system. And so timescale is one issue. As I said, here you also see that there is also the length scale, how big a system I can do. Generally, we can, in our lab, do several hundred nanometers, and we can do it for some microseconds, not a second, unfortunately. So current solutions that we have developed algorithms that are much faster now. We have techniques such as coarse graining, where we have high fidelity coarse grain resolution of our atomistic system. And we are using computational ways of archiving these things better, saving these data less frequently, and then revisiting and making our simulations better. So, however, this is not the big data that I can limit myself to. Bigger data is ahead. We generally say bigger data has the 3 V's, the variety, the velocity, and the volume. And you can see here, we want to go from femtoseconds to hours and days of simulation, but a human body has 7 times 10 to the 27 atoms in the system, and I'm just talking about 1 million. So you can see where the bigger data is going, and we need solutions, and I'm glad that we are doing this today here, because everybody isn't doing big data now. Even Santa is not happy, and Santa is not happy with the naughty or nice. Santa needs big data on each one of us, so thank you.